Iran and Israel. Two countries in the same region, sharing borders with the same neighbors, facing many of the same geopolitical storms. Yet, economically, they're operating on entirely different wavelengths. Iran is a large, resource-rich country with a population of nearly 90 million and some of the biggest oil and gas reserves in the world. In contrast, Israel, has just under 10 million people, very limited natural resources, and barely any oil. And yet, Israel's economy is not only more stable, it's more dynamic, more globally integrated, and, per person, far more productive. Clarifying. This contrast isn't just about GDP figures, it's about the structure, the strategy, and the story each country tells through its economy. Let's start with Iran. The Iranian economy is heavily state-run and overwhelmingly dependent on oil. About 70% of its export earnings come from hydrocarbons. The state collects rents from oil and redistributes that money through subsidies, public jobs, and military spending. That model has kept the regime afloat, but it hasn't delivered long-term development. Sanctions, especially from the United States, have strangled Iran's access to global banking, trade, and investment. Inflation regularly hits double digits, the currency has collapsed more than once, and unemployment, particularly among the youth, is persistently high. Iran's private sector is weak, the bureaucracy is bloated, and the Revolutionary Guard Corps controls large parts of the economy, from construction to telecoms. Observing. Despite all this, Iran doesn't collapse, it adapts. Through black markets, informal trade routes, smuggling, and barter deals, it stays afloat. Disappointed, but it doesn't move forward. Concluding, it's an economy in limbo, too large to fail, too constrained to thrive. Now, contrast that with Israel. Israel's economy is small in size but large in impact. It's famously known as the startup nation, and for good reason. Israel invests more in research and development as a percentage of GDP than any other country, over 4.5%. That money fuels an ecosystem of innovation in tech, cybersecurity, fintech, agri-tech, and defense. The military plays a major role here. Elite units like 8200 produce highly skilled workers with experience in data analysis, cybersecurity, and AI, skills that translate directly into startup success. Add to that a strong university system, venture capital access, and close trade ties with the US, EU, and now Gulf states, and Israel becomes one of the most innovation-dense economies on the planet. Its GDP per capita is now above $50,000. Unemployment is low, inflation is controlled, and foreign investors view Israel as a stable, high-tech hub. Of course, Israel faces its own problems: rising inequality, unaffordable housing, and political instability. But its core economic engine remains strong. So how do they compare? Iran relies on what's under the ground: oil. Israel relies on what's in people's heads: ideas. Iran's economy is constrained by sanctions and dominated by state actors. Israel's is plugged into global markets and driven by private innovation. Iran exports crude. Israel exports code. One is locked out. The other is logged in. Geopolitically, these economic models shape each country's influence. Iran funds proxy groups, arms transfers, and regional allies using oil revenue. Israel builds influence through defense exports, tech deals, and trade alliances. Both are projecting power, but through very different economic tools. In the end, this isn't just a story of two economies, it's a tale of two futures. Iran, with its vast potential, remains stuck in a pattern of isolation and crisis management. Israel, with far fewer natural advantages, has built a modern economy based on knowledge, risk-taking, and global connectivity. Two models, one region, and a growing divide between what was possible and what was built.